Hey guys, it is Facebook Live number 76. Is it 76? I can't believe I've been doing this for 76 consecutive weeks. Today's topic is something spontaneous that I stumbled across, and I didn't realize how counterproductive it is when we as parents make our kids apologize, and what it does to just their overall beliefs and the way they feel about themselves. Because think about it, if your mom or dad or older sibling said, you know what, you got your husband upset, you better apologize to him right now. And I want you to sit with that feeling. You know, when you're forced to do something and you feel like, wait a minute, are you my dictator? And oftentimes when you're a parent, your child does see you as, of course, an authority figure, someone they need to obey. And sometimes you do have, right, resentment builds whenever anyone forces you to do anything. So I was researching, why is it counterproductive to make our kids apologize? And as young as 4, I thought this was important too. I mean, it was just kind of enlightening that as young as 4 years old, they grasp the emotional implications of an apology. Hey, it's Dexter. Yeah, we're talking about why it is not mentally healthy to force our children to apologize. And they do know, you know, as little as I tutor a 5-year-old, and whenever he can tell that, you know, I'm asking him, hey, are you focusing right now? I notice he goes, sorry, 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 sorry. And it's a very emotionally, it's almost like breaking your heart a little, because you feel, I messed up, I need to apologize, and I did something wrong, which makes me not really a good person. You know, when I had reminded my 5-year-old at the very end of our tutoring session, I said, you did a good job. And he was like, all because I reminded him to focus. I didn't force him to apologize for his inappropriate behavior. I mean, he was doing everything that would have probably, you know, earned him a timeout in the classroom. But I realized after, you know, I came across that article, why parents shouldn't force their children to apologize. Counterproductive. I'm going to keep saying that because you think, wait a minute, I want my children, and I used to do the same thing, I want to show them social etiquette. If they do something wrong, I want them to apologize. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't apologize. What I'm saying is a spontaneous apology versus a prompted but forced apology. When they did an experiment with little kids, and on one end they forced kids to apologize, the other group, Deslin, happy to be here. I'm so happy you're here with me, my empowerment coach. They, you know, the psychologists who conducted this experiment had a discussion with those that decided on their own the importance of and the choice. Hey, Karen Hart, my Dotson friend from Arizona. We're talking about the importance of apologizing. And I think we do that. I do that to my dogs too. You better apologize. You just, you know, bit your sister in the head. And dogs can feel it. They look at you with remorse sometimes with defiance, because no one wants to be forced. So I thought this statement was pretty insightful. Wait until your child can acknowledge why it was wrong, but you don't say, why was your behavior wrong? You know, you coach it out of them. How do you think your sister felt? I noticed that you hit her, or I noticed that you must have been really upset. What happened? I hit my sister. And then you help them come up with their own words to offer an apology. But it's very different, right? When they initiate the apology versus, yes, Justin said, ask questions. Self-reflection questions can be so empowering, and it makes it easy on us as parents, because all we're doing is, oh, so what happened? You know, you see one child crying and the other one may be like very defiant, and you'll probably hear, they hit me, or they took my toy and it's mine. And you're almost like a mediator. And once you ask questions, and I've noticed my student will, be like, well, I'm sorry, what did you do? I wasn't focusing, or I took the iPad without asking, which happens a lot. Or I'm sorry, I decided to play and do jumping jacks instead of read the story with you. And I'll just say, when you're ready, let me know. And I'm amazed that kids will be like, I'm ready. I'm ready to apologize. I'm ready to focus. I'm ready to listen. And you don't even have to do any lecturing. But I recently have been told, right? It's like, Mom, aren't you supposed to stop lecturing? Aren't you not supposed to be? You're doing everything that, as a parent coach, you tell parents not to do. And I own it. I apologize. I'm so sorry. You're right. Mom is doing default. I didn't mean to lecture, but my concern, I love you. And sometimes that love turns into a lecture that I don't want to do. Oh, Vanessa also says, I hear that too. Destin, we are imperfect. And when we tell our kids, you know what? Oh, I am so sorry. I know how that must feel. I don't mean to be condescending. I don't mean to be a dictator. I don't mean to tell you what to do. What do you need from me? That has been a really empowering question. What do you need from me? So maybe, after like you have a brother who swore at his brother, and then you talk about it. So how are you feeling? I'm feeling pissed off. What did you do? I swore at my brother and called him names. How do you think he's feeling? Oh, he's probably feeling sad. And then you just coach. Is there anything you want to do, or do you think that, are you okay with swearing? No. And I've done this with 2 brothers. So what do you think? Is there anything that you think might make him feel better? Yeah, I should apologize. Well, when you're ready, because sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes, I am not ready to apologize. And my friend, an empowerment coach, Destin, says, well, we are imperfect, and, when I'm ready, it might take 48 hours, I apologize. Some people can apologize right away, but when we dictate the apology, it comes off as a command, right? And when we demand things from our kids, we all know that if they are not a people pleaser, and if they're defiant, or they think, why should I do that? So I notice with our dishwashing schedule, we do Mom, Dad, Sabrina, Chelsea. Mom, Dad, Sabrina, Chelsea. So I'll say something like, whose day is it? Oh, it's Sabrina's day. But it also says like, it is Marshmallow Day. We have the calendar. And then I just say it. Just to, and it's not like, you better do the dishes. It's like, whose day is it? Oh, it's Sabrina's day. And it is Marshmallow Day, or it is Mom's birthday a month. So we have this thing. My friends know that it's the birth month. Tomorrow is the 30th. So Chelsea says earlier today, hey, do you think that we should do something special since it's the last day of your birth month? And earlier she actually apologized because the girls got into it, and I heard Chelsea say, I'm sorry, Sabrina. And I thought, wow. And it sounded sincere. When you force an apology, guess what? Have you ever heard this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I took your toy. And so when you are forced to say it, and I thought this is very true, children may dislike the apologizer even more after the insincere apology. And we've heard it. I've said that, that doesn't sound like you're sorry, or this is what some of us say, and I've been guilty of it. Well, I don't know, you keep apologizing, but you keep doing the same thing that you are apologizing for. And it sounds very condescending, but as a parent, we think, I need to teach this lesson so it's not repeated. And I believe, if you believe in the universe or God or a higher power, lessons are repeated until you learn it. So as a parent, if you keep having to remind your children to apologize, I invite to ask yourself, Are your children witnessing you apologizing and not apologizing out of obligation? And as an only child, you know, I look back, my parents did discipline me. My parents did say no sometimes. When my dad said no, he meant it. So I'll just go to my mom, you know, or vice versa. Whoever was in a better mood, right? Because if you're not in a good mood, most likely, if you say no, unless your kids know, oh, you know what, don't ask mom again, because your answer will always be no. And that's what my girls know, you know. When mom says no, it is not going to change. And then Thomas usually, you know, is consistent. We said no, it is no, right? Please, 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 no. So the same thing with apologizing. I never heard my parents apologize ever. So when I was in my 20s and, you know, I was in relationships, I would say, and I'm embarrassed to admit this now, when I am wrong, then I'll apologize. And I really believed it. And then my Prince Charming, Thomas, would apologize when it wasn't even his fault. So I started apologizing and he would say, it's all right. And I realized, you know, saying sorry does not mean that, oh my gosh, you are imperfect, you messed up, you are a screw up. It just means, you know, I really regret hurting you. You feel remorse, right? Genuine remorse often cannot be felt if it's forced. So when we come off as a dictator, and I recently, my interview with former Boise State University football coach, Viliami Tuivai, actually admitted that, you know, we cannot be dictating to our children. We can be firm, we can administer discipline, but we also need to remember that our children are not, we don't own our children. But many of us, you know, I felt like, hey, you are my children. I get to tell you because I'm your parent. And even if you don't say it, they can feel your authority, you know, that energy of they are lesser than. So lately I've been telling my daughters, well, you are teaching me a lot. I wouldn't be able to be a parent coach without you. And when you praise them and you kind of stroke their ego, guess what? They want to be more cooperative. They want to, you know, be defiant, less. And you see amazing changes. My daughter, my younger one, who tends to push my buttons, told me the other day, hey, Mom, just casually, I did your mama meditation. And I was like, what? Which one? I don't know, the last one. And I looked it up and it said, when you need a few minutes to just access your inner peace. And lately as a family, we've been going through, you know, some challenges. And I thought, wow, you know, instead of saying, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, which is, you know, so it depends on how you take that. Some people think, oh, you're practicing empathy. Other people think, they don't take it well. They might think, why are you sorry? Are you saying that, you know, you're sorry that I was born? Are you saying that you're sorry that I messed up? And it's amazing how you can have the best intentions and the words are not received well. This is how you know that your words are not received well, right? Rolling eyes, doors are shut or actually slammed, or you just lose them. You ever had this conversation with your adult children, toddlers, no matter what age, and your child is looking at you and even shaking their head, but you know, in their head, they're like, you know what, I don't even want to listen to you. I don't want to be in the same room with you. I don't like you. And Chelsea would be honest. Are we done yet? Are you done? Are you done? Can I leave? I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Can I go? And then I would say, no, I am not done because this is really important. And I need you to understand. And do you remember Charlie Brown, the teacher? Wah, 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 wah. And I tell my daughters, is that what you hear? Mom says these wonderful words of wisdom. And you hear blah, 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 blah. But you think as a parent, wow, man, I am instilling my personal life experience. And I'm giving my children the gift of my knowledge so that they don't have to repeat my mistakes. And they can choose, make better choices. And your kid says, but I want to touch the fire. You know, I want to make a mistake because it's more fun, or they're outgoing, or they're a risk taker, right? And that's what happened to, you know, Chelsea has given me permission to share her stories, but she once put her finger in the elevator as it was closing. And we were visiting my dad, who had his bladder removed. He had bladder cancer. And I just thought, so I panicked, of course. And Thomas did the Superman, like, you know, open the door. And I just said, what were you thinking? And of course she says, I don't know. So you thought putting your finger in the door would be what? I don't know. So we rushed her to the ER, and I just wanted her to apologize for, I don't know, making an unwise decision. And she just said, I wanted to know. I wanted to know what would happen. You wanted to know what would happen if the door is closed on your finger. Hard to remain patient, right? Sometimes it's hard to keep that composure, because you know, I'm going through a lot. If you're stressed, you're hungry, you're tired, and your child does something that you think, did I not teach you, right? I kept thinking, did I fail as an educator? Did I fail as a parent? Did I fail as an adult just guiding you, you know? Or when I hear, yeah, sorry, Mom, I guess we didn't listen to your words of wisdom, but why do you turn everything into a life lesson? And then you think, you want to say, well, sorry then. But you can't say that, because that's sarcastic, right? So guess what you do? You deep breathe. You deep breathe. And you own it. You know, I'm sorry that, and say it with sincerity. You know, I'm really sorry that my words are something that isn't making you feel any better. And you might hear this, yeah, your words are making me feel worse. I don't even know why you are even talking to me and sharing what you know will probably make me feel worse, right? You do know that I'm feeling worse, right? And then don't defend, right? I would say, you know, I'm sorry, but it's only because I care. I'm sorry, but when you say but, it just erases your apology. And this is what happens, right? I'm sorry that I hit you, but you got me mad. I'm sorry that I took your toy, but I couldn't find mine, or I wanted it, right? That but makes the other person who's receiving the apology even more upset. You might hear words like, well, I don't feel that you're really sorry, because you're probably going to do it again. So this subject, I thought, was really enlightening, because I had originally, and I might do it next week, like why we shouldn't stress the importance of grades, which I've done before. You know, I talked about, right? Grades not defining you. I think it's a subject that, even though I talk about it on Living 808, I talk about it, you know, I post little Instagram stories and TikTok things. I think we really need to, because I know it deep down. I know it, right? You can intellectualize it, but when you feel it, I had my daughter sometimes not, you know, logging on to class, let's say. And I think, should I say something? And my brain says, you should say something, because what if she doesn't find out what she's missing? What if she needs a parental reminder? And then I remember what I tell you guys. And so I didn't say anything, not a deep breathing, a lot of lighting candles, a lot of blowing out candles. And then my daughter says, hey, Mom, I logged on to La Lima to find out, that's like the website that Leeward Community College, you look up what your assignments are, your grades. And she says, yeah, I looked up what if I missed anything. And I thought to myself, this is why we can't remind our children, right? If you remind your children, which I've done many, many times, I am learning to follow up with an apology. And it could be a couple days later. I did that recently. You know, I'm sorry that I did the lecture thing. I'm sorry that you felt criticized, but I just want to let you know. And do it when they're in a good mood. Because when you approach an apology, when they're not in that calm state, it will not go well. It might, but usually if someone's not in a good mood, they're not going to be very receptive, right, to accepting the apology. So another thing, you know, we've been trained, apologies make someone feel better. But if you are forced to apologize, you think possibly, well, I'm apologizing when I don't know why I'm apologizing, right? Or I'm apologizing just to make them feel better. And that's the only reason why I'm apologizing, because my mom said to do it. My dad said to do it. Or as an adult, I know that it's the right thing. But inside, you feel resentful. You feel like, you know why I'm apologizing? Because they messed up. But why am I apologizing? And you're talking to the master who refused to apologize. So I think I'm making up for all those decades that I didn't apologize. And I'm seeing the value of genuine apologies. And I'm thinking if we teach our kids this by role modeling sincere apologies, and even talking about, as you're apologizing, you know, this is really hard for me to do, but I know that you deserve an apology. And if they don't apologize, this is what I'm learning, don't say, you know what, it's been like 2 weeks. Yes, and I haven't seen you apologize, and you know that you should apologize. That's guilt tripping, right? Yeah, Deslin, modeling, healing, from Healing with Aloha, and just learning to let go, because we build up resentments when we don't receive the apology that we think we deserve. And when you slowly let go, if you need an apology, I've learned the power of writing. I know a lot of you guys, I don't like to write, but you can imagine it. It's really powerful to write it and just say that I forgive myself for needing an apology to heal. Why do I deserve this apology? And write it all out. Write everything that you want the other person to say. This is an apology from my dad. Karen, you know what? I apologize for putting pressure on you to be a perfect parent. My first Mother's Day card. This is the most important student you'll ever have in your entire life. Major pressure. Major, major pressure, right? When I had a heartbreak. You know, this is going to happen to you again and again and again. But your main goal, you'll always have time for your social life. Your main goal is always academics and achievements and just going for your career, right? And I recently have been reflecting and talking to my dad. And I thought, you know what? He just really wanted me to succeed, you know, and he grew up suffering poverty. He was in the military for, 20 years, and then Pearl Harbor, 20 years. And he didn't know how to apologize because he never witnessed apologizing. And I didn't know this, but he said the military taught him that if they're questioning and interrogating you and you know that you're wrong, you can't apologize. They teach you to stick with whatever point that you are defending, even though you're wrong. So I'm thinking, well, no wonder he didn't apologize, because he was taught in the military, you stick to your guns, you know, even though you're wrong, you stick with your whatever, you know, behavior you engaged in. So in closing, I just want to remind you that we are all imperfect. If we teach our kids that imperfection is embraced, just similar as failing and making mistakes, and because when I teach kids and they go, oh no, I made a mistake, my E is messy, and I can tell how they were taught, because if they are scared, and I always tell them, it's okay, but I made a mistake. It's okay. It's okay. Really? Yeah. And make your mistakes with me. It's a safe place. Make all your mistakes with me, because you know what? I'm here to teach you and I don't expect perfection. So let's make more mistakes. And it just calms them down. So as you go about your day, be observant of when you feel the need to apologize. Do you feel obligated to apologize? And how will you practice communicating that apology where it does sound sincere? And are you being sincere, or is it out of, like, I need to do this just to make amends? And there's nothing wrong with feeling obligated, but you want the person to receive it and know that it was genuine. You really did feel apologetic. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. If you want any other advice, I do have. I keep forgetting to mention Mama's Gotta Let Go, How to Let Go Without Losing Your Sanity, available on Amazon, and 100 Parenting Tips inspired by the pandemic, inspired by Deslin Hakias, on Google Play, on Barnes & Noble, on Amazon, and coming up soon on October 25th, putting it out there. My plan is to launch my first mother-daughter book with Sabrina, and it's called Cat and Butterfly. 2 themes are friendship as well as the magical power of self-confidence. So look for that. And yes, Kindle versions on both books, under $5. So you got to think of it. Are you worth $5 to invest in so that you do have letting go exercises to let go of overwhelm, let go of stress, let go of anxiety, chaos, judgment, right? That seems to burden all of us. And I'm going to close with a letting go exercise, okay, which is let go by. This is to release responsibilities that aren't yours. Don't apologize. Don't apologize to yourself for your mistakes. You embrace them and say, you know what? I'm just being me, right? I'm just being me. Every time you find yourself about to teach your child a valuable life lesson, take a deep breath. Hold it for a count of 4. Then release your breath for a count of 4. Repeat this 3 times. Remind yourself. I don't even remember writing this. Remind yourself that you are not the wizard in The Wizard of Oz. Allow your child, whether he seems like the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, or the Lion, that he will learn whatever he or she needs to learn without your lectures. By seeking and blundering, we learn, by Wolfgang von Goethe. Wow, is that appropriate? I just opened the book. Let go by. Yeah, we are. Deep breathe, and remember, we think we are the wizard. We are not the wizard. And we need to allow and embrace our children as they go through the Tin Man phase, right? As they go through the Scarecrow, as they go through the Lion, you know, and we just need to embrace. Embrace, know that you are enough, and know that we have a support group. Deslin and Mello and I will be live tomorrow in the Aloha Mindset Parenting Facebook group. Please join the group and post your questions, vent, let us know what your journey is like as a parent, and we look forward to interacting with you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Hawaii time. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining, and oh, you know what, if you are watching the replay, please let me know. And if there are any particular topics that you would like me to cover, please let me know, and I'll make that topic a future Facebook Live. Oh, you're welcome, Vanessa. I've known Vanessa Ronce since our kids were about 10, right? And they are, I can't believe they're 25, and I think your beauty is what, 26? Great. Elisa, my Na'ali'i friend. Thank you so much, Elisa, for joining. I really appreciate all the support, all the sweet words, and I look forward to being back next Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.